On the line right now, we have Dr. Fauci. Yes, he's the best. I'm not only a fan, but I'm a guy that listens to everything he says. Of course, he's the director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases and the chief medical advisor to the president. Dr. Fauci, how are you this morning?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Oh, I'm hanging in there. I know that you've had a little battle with COVID, but I guess you're 100%.
Yeah, thank goodness. I think I'm a testimony to why it's so important to get fully vaccinated and boosted, because given my age, I would have imagined that I would have been in a risk category to have gone on to progress and really get advanced disease, which I had a really quite relatively mild case. Right. So I'm very thankful for that.
Now, we know the president has been diagnosed with having COVID, and they gave him a medication. What was that medication? I forgot how to pronounce it.
Paxlovid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that available?
Antiviral.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's widely available. I was also on Paxlavid, and I took that. It's a 5-day drug. You take 3 pills twice a day for 5 days. And the track record of Paxlavid is that it is very effective in preventing the progression to severe disease leading to hospitalization.
There's very few people that have your expertise in infectious diseases. And, of course, your work with HIV and things like that is just, nobody surpassed that kind of work. And I know you're a modest guy, but I'll say that. Monkeypox is the big talk. And, you know, you've been doing this, 60 some odd years?
54 years.
54. I was close. I was off 6 years.
You were close. You were close.
Have you ever encountered monkeypox before? Have you dealt with that before?
You know, monkeypox is fundamentally a disease that was endemic for a bit following the discontinuation of the smallpox vaccination. You know, smallpox and monkeypox are similar in the kind of virus it is. Obviously, smallpox is a much more severe disease, is monkeypox. But the time when the world was being vaccinated for smallpox, it had the secondary collateral positive effect of protecting populations against monkeypox. But when we eradicated smallpox, they discontinued the vaccinations around 1977, 1980 for smallpox. And monkeypox arises in animals and then spreads to human. It doesn't spread under most circumstances very effectively in the sense of human to human. It's mostly animal. But right now, if it gets essentially into a population in which, for example, for sexual networks or what have you, that any close skin-to-skin contact can lead to the spread of this disease. And right now we're having a very difficult situation, not only in this country, but literally throughout the world, where you have an outbreak in more than 80 separate countries of monkeypox, where you have almost 3,500 confirmed cases in the United States. You have close to 19,000 confirmed cases in 82 non-endemic countries. And by non-endemic countries, I mean countries other than where it is essentially there and has been there for a while, generally going from animals to human, and that's in Central and West Africa. Okay. Now you're in countries throughout Europe and throughout the world. So it's something we really need to take seriously. It's predominantly in the non-endemic countries among men who have sex with men. Like 99% of the cases are in that demographic group.
Now, let me ask you, if you get monkeypox, it is treatable, correct?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the difference, for example, I often get asked, back in the early days in the very early 1980s when we first were dealing with what turned out to be HIV, even though we didn't know it was HIV at the time. We didn't have an etiologic agent. We didn't have a diagnostic test. We didn't have therapy, and we didn't have certainly a vaccine, which we still don't have. It's entirely different. With monkeypox, we know exactly what the etiologic agent is. We've been studying it for a long time. Yeah. We have diagnostic tests that have now were limited at first, but now at least 5 or 6 commercial companies now have tests available. Excellent. We have an antiviral drug called TPOXX, which was developed several years ago, and we have vaccines against it. So what we need to do now is to get those interventions in an equitable manner distributed to the people who need it, both those who've been exposed and need what's called a post-exposure prophylaxis, as well as those who might be in a risk group where just on the basis of the sexual networks or what have you, that they are at risk. We've got to get vaccines in a pre-exposure prophylaxis to them.
Gotcha. Listen, Dr. Fauci, listen, I know you're retiring, and I want to be one of the 18,000 people that have told you, thank you so much for your service. I know over the last couple of years, it's not what you signed up for to have, personal threats to your life for telling the truth. And I want to say that you got us through a really tough time. And I appreciate your honesty, your candor. And I think, I don't know who's going to replace you, but you're going to be hard to replace. So thank you for your service, sir.
All right. I'm not going yet, so don't worry. We're still going there. We're still going strong.
Okay.
Thanks an awful lot.
Thank you, Dr. Fauci. Bye-bye now.
Take care. Bye-bye.